What's up? What's up, guys? AW here, and we're happy Saturday, December 3rd. I hope you're all doing well tonight. So it's been 2 days. It's been 2 days since the trailers came out for Marvel, Indiana Jones, and Transformers. Yeah, we're going to talk about all three of them. All three of them. But before we get into that, shut up, Isaac. Before we get into that, make sure to subscribe here if you're new. Like, like this. Smash the like button down below. Share with your friends, family, colleagues, everybody, whatever that are interested in my YouTube channel. Just share this with them. And yeah, I sent out invitations. Where's my stupid little headset? A little headset over here. Got a print. Oh yeah, I like this. But thank you, Isaac. Right off the bat, right off the bat. I really appreciate it. Yes, it's my fault. There's no North American teams in the final. Don't worry. We got 2026, okay? We got 4 more years. 2026. Well, actually, almost 3 years since we're almost in 2023. Don't worry. when the whole continent of North America hosts the 2026 World Cup, Canada, U.S., and Mexico. But thank you. We play football up here, like American football, right? We play football up here, right? So we do play on grass. We do play on grass up here. But that's funny. Please sub. All right, all right, all right. And if you have an invitation, you're free to come in. I sent the DM group an invite to the StreamYard. I think I could be wrong, but I think I did. I'm doing this earlier than my usual time slot, 7. Yes, I 100% agree with this. Yes, on ice. Yes. Okay. So before I get into the trailers, I have been playing Marvel's Midnight Suns for the Xbox Series X. I gotta say, the game is fun. I gotta say, the game is really, really fun. Now, the battling system is card-based strategy battling system where you gotta, you know, use strategy to defeat your enemies, and you gotta use card-based. You gotta like buff your characters, heal your characters, protect your characters. You gotta strategize to defeat your enemies. But the thing is the story is good. The story is good so far, and The graphics is great, but there's other things. There's like side quests, side missions. Get the relationship. You get to build relationships with different Marvel characters. There's a new character just for this video game, not anywhere Marvel related, not in the MCU, not in the comics, but there's a new character called the Hunter. He is or she is. You get to make it decide the Hunter to be female or male. He or she is the son or daughter of the villain, Lilith. Lilith is the villain, and you have to and so you team up to Marvel, the Midnight Suns, whatever Marvel characters are in there. So far, it's Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Ghost Rider. It's not Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider. Candace Canon Marvel, yeah. It's not Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider, it's Robbie Reyes. You got not Wiccan. Nikaru, the other one, the other witch, what's her name? She's kind of gothic, like whatever. You got Magic. Spider-Man's in it. Wolverine's in it. The Hawk's in it, but you don't play as a Hawk. I know the fact you don't play as a Hawk. The Scarlet Witch is in it, but the Scarlet Witch is not a playable character in the game. But she's kind of important at the beginning in the game. So far it's fun. The villain side you have Crossbones, Sabretooth, Lilith, obviously. Blade's in it. And you actually get to develop relationships with these characters too. Friendship. I don't think it's romance. I don't think you do romance. Can you imagine? So far, I just went into Wolverine and Sabretooth. Yeah, Doctor Doom is taking over Canada. But we're getting the trailer talk now. Okay. You know what? We want to go Transformers, and then we'll get to the bigger stuff after. The Ant-Man thing wasn't really a trailer. It was a legacy trailer. It was mostly footage from the previous films. Ant-Man was evolving in the Marvel Universe. And a little bit from Iron Man 3. A little bit. It was mostly a legacy trailer where wherever past Marvel films Ant-Man, Paul Rudd's character was involved with. It's not really... To me, when I see that trailer, legacy trailer, I don't know what the future is for Scott Lang in the MCU. It feels like I don't think this is the last movie we'll see Scott Lang, Ant-Man, but it feels like we're getting to that point where Ant-Man may be phasing out in the multiverse saga. After phase 5 and 6, maybe Ant-Man, Scott Lang is done. Or Ant-Man is done being an integral figure of the MCU, Marvel Studios. The MCU going forward. That's what I got from this legacy trailer. But there's not really much to talk about with that trailer. It's not really a trailer like per se. It's not a second trailer because we're not gonna get the second trailer until probably maybe later this month, maybe next month, because the movie comes out in 2 months, right? So we'll probably get a second trailer coming later this month or in January, and then we'll get a third final trailer that comes out 1 or 2 weeks before the actual movie. It's not gonna come out to the Super Bowl because I think the Super Bowl is happening on the same week. I don't know. I don't expect an Ant-Man trailer for Super Bowl. I do expect a Guardians 2 trailer for Super Bowl, the second Guardians trailer for Super Bowl from Marvel. I also do expect maybe one of their Marvel shows. If it's not Secret Invasion, whatever second show time slot. I think it maybe Loki. I don't know, but maybe the Marvels. Maybe the Marvels. That's on the Marvel side. Disney. I don't. Maybe for Star Wars, the Ahsoka, maybe Ahsoka or Acolyte. I'm just. I'm just one. I'm just going what I'm predicting here, like what I'm thinking. And maybe another Indiana Jones second trailer. On the DC side, but I think for Super Bowl we might. I don't think we'll see Aquaman 2. The trailer for Aquaman 2. I think that's gonna be safe for Comic Con. We're not gonna see Shazam trailer, another trailer for Shazam because the movie comes out right after in March. But I would put my bet on it that we might definitely would see. I'll put $5 on it that we're gonna see the Flash trailer at the Super Bowl. So if I had to guess for Marvel, Guardians second trailer, the Marvels trailer, first trailer, whatever show they have coming up after Secret Invasion. We don't know when Secret Invasion is like officially announced, when the release date is. We know Mando season 1 is coming out March 1st, right? March 1st. So we might see from Lucas, Ahsoka or Acolyte, whichever one comes out first. I don't know which one comes out first. Mando's first, so whichever one comes out after that, we'll probably see a trailer at the Super Bowl for. On the DC side, Aquaman 2, no. Blue Beetle, maybe. Shazam, no. But definitely The Flash. Okay. Now you can pop up in, anybody. You're all allowed in and talk. Whatever. And thanks. Okay. So the Ant-Man Legacy trailer, it's nothing special. And I'm not going to go very long tonight. But we'll get into the trailers now. There's Snow. Transformers 5, Rise of the Beast. Wherever, right? We know what this movie is about. This is about having what are they called? What are they called again? Beast Wars. Introducing characters from Beast Wars. Introducing the Autobots and Decepticons. Into the Transformers movie franchise. This is the 6th movie? This is the 6th, right? And yeah, and they're still milking this in. They're still milking this franchise, despite how bad the franchise has gone over the years, despite how terrible, one of the worst movies Transformers 5 was last night. How bad it was. They're still going to milk this Transformer franchise. They don't care how bad the franchise is. They won't even reboot it or rebuild it, whatever. They won't even. It's really, really bad right now. 7th, yeah. See, yeah. Okay, the universe. Okay, Transformer universe. Bumblebee. You're right. And I love the show Beast Wars back in the 90s with the Predacons and with the Optimus Prime, Mo. We have Megatron. Optimus Prime was a gorilla who transformed, right? In Beast Wars, Megatron was a T-Rex, a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, Cheetor, who was a cheetah. Rat Trap, who's a rat, but Rat Trap is not in this movie. Rat Trap is not in this movie. Cheetor is in this movie as a rookie.
Oh, give me a
As a
second.
as
So,
a, as a rookie, whatever to call. Hey, what's up? What's you doing, man?
okay, yeah, it's working now. Yeah, nothing much. I'm just trying to finish this game. Oh my God.
What
Pokemon. I'm trying to get rid of
did the
this
pat?
game.
Did the patch fix? Did the patch
Um,
fix it?
well, right now I'm playing in docked, and no, it did not fix the game in docked, but in handheld mode it works better. Yeah. So if you play a docked, then I would say don't play it because the patch
Okay.
did nothing.
Yes. Okay. Arizor is in the movie. Yes, that's correct.
Oh man.
Okay. So on the Maximal side, I just know from what I saw Wikipedia is Optimus Primal. Primal is Maximal. Cheetor is a rookie in this film. That's what it says in the Wikipedia. No, Wikipedia, like a lot of people say Wikipedia is not accurate, but Wikipedia there's a lot of accurate stuff on Wikipedia.
Yeah. I mean, majority of the times it is accurate, but
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they have moderators, so certain pages can't get edit. But I don't know about a Transformer new movie that would be moderated, but
yeah. So yeah, Air Razor is in it. Yes, she's the from the show. She's like what? She's the bird. And what kind of bird is she? A sparrow, a falcon, a hawk. She was something like that.
is this a
And then they had
reboot?
Rhinox, second
Because
in command to Optimus Primal.
is it a reboot? I have no clue.
No,
So it's a continuation from
no.
Bumblebee,
This takes place after Bumblebee.
but isn't Bumblebee still in line with the other movies?
Yes. So from what I'm read, Transformers One is whatever era that is with Shia
Yeah, with
LaBeouf's
Shia
character.
LaBeouf.
But from what I read from this is actually before Transformers One. This is takes place after Bumblebee. Yeah, it takes place in the
Yeah,
90s.
yeah, because
So
Bumblebee took place in the '80s, right?
yeah, so it's like it's not necessarily a sequel to Bumblebee because it's not Bumblebee Two. So it's more like more of a prequel to the first Transformers movie,
Hmm.
I
Well,
guess.
I mean, it is isn't what's her name in it?
No, Haley Steinfeld's not in it. She's not in it.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
new
that's
lead.
weird.
Yeah, she's
I
not
thought
in
she
it.
would have at least had a cameo or something.
Yeah, I checked. She's not. It's Anthony Ramos is the new lead. You know, he's the guy who used
Yeah,
to play the Hood in Ironheart, the villain. That's who's playing the new lead because they don't have Mark Wahlberg back. Good God, I mean, it's,
yeah. Mark Wahlberg was pretty bad.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the last night or whatever it was called,
oh,
that was hilarious. Yeah,
that was
unbelievable.
trash. Look, I'll say this about the trailers for Transformers always look good.
I didn't really like this trailer to be honest. I thought it was okay. Like the designs were like they were a little jarring, coming off of the Michael Bay movies and even Bumblebee, where Bumblebee was like felt like an in between of classic Transformers and Michael Bay. Well, this one just feels like okay, this feels a lot more like the animated cartoons, where it's like very boxy design. So I don't know how to feel about that.
If, like, I don't know who the villains are the Predacons, so I don't know if it's.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
was also another thing about the trailer. The villains of the trailer, like it's called Rise of the Beast, whatever it's called, right? The animal uh
Yeah,
Transformers, but it's like it feels like they're not really villains. Like there's someone else trying to. Who's the? I think it's I can't remember his name. Unicron, something. I can't remember his name, but it seems like he's the villain. Like based on some of the hints in the trailer.
yes, I think they haven't really given up the villain the who the from Wikipedia it says Rise of the Beast. The villain the villain is Terracons. Terracons are the villains. Peter Dinklage is Scourge, the leader of the Terracons, and a trophy hunter.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I don't feel like that's really the main villain either. I feel like
No. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Sorry, I cut you off.
oh, you know what's funny? It's funny how Soups got caught red-handed, not knowing anything about the comics.
About the Riri Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that
just out.
was.
Yeah, he just outed himself there, man.
He always doubts himself. Didn't he say something about Transformers recently? I have no. I don't
Hmm.
even. Unless there's like some controversy, I really don't care what he says.
You know, he's a
But
bandwagon person. People call him out on the band. He's a band. He's someone who's on the bandwagon, and he
yeah.
says he says today Blue Beetle is his most anticipated movie of the year. I'm like bullshit. Nobody has Blue Beetle as the most anticipated movie,
Well, yeah, I think there's a little bit more
especially from
to that.
DC.
I think he said he was excited because, well, I mean, the main character is Hispanic. It's a very Hispanic driven movie from what I heard. So, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense for representation, but I am a little concerned about that movie.
Oh, representation big, but Blue Beetle is not bigger than Aquaman. He's not even big as Shazam. He's not even big as the Flash.
No.
Like
If I had to say my most anticipated comic book movie next year, um, I might either pick The Flash or Spider Verse
well, yeah, I mean
or
Spider.
Guardians. Guardians. I forgot
Okay,
about Guardians.
I say the Flash has the biggest implications for the DC universe because if it's based on Flash, well, it's not really based on Flashpoint, and it's their own version of Flashpoint. Flashpoint is very different in the comics from what they're going to tell in the
Yeah,
movie. Obviously,
it's not even going to be Flashpoint,
no,
to be
no,
honest. No.
but it is going to have involved time travel and potential universe change, whatever. That's
Yeah,
big.
it
Like
has Flashpoint elements. Like
yeah,
instead of Superman, it's Supergirl who's in captive.
hmm
Instead of Thomas Wayne, it's Michael Keaton.
and
So
he's
I mean,
playing
it
Bruce
does
Wayne.
have, yeah, and he's playing Bruce Wayne instead. So I mean, we'll probably even see, I mean, Wonder Woman, maybe even Aquaman. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Other characters, but I think it's more like into the Spider Verse, but they actually go through the multiverse. They go through the
and
DC multiverse.
And I know like this, James Gunn, right, has all his plans for him and Safran have all these plans outlined for the future of DC for the next 10 years. He has to see.
Mhm.
He might have seen these movies test screened or whatever already, and see where he could work from, what works from there, and what he could use from there, and then use it for their future, the future they have in
Well,
written
yeah,
out.
I think maybe that's what they're working on right now. I think they're working on the slate, but they're also trying to figure out how those films could connect because
Yeah,
I mean they're the closest to being released.
because DC has nothing for 2024. That's movie
No,
related. They have Peacemaker, and the Penguin might be late 2023, early 2024, but that's
I
not.
think 2024.
Oh, yeah,
I think
but
it's late
that's
2024.
but that's not. But Penguin is not what
Yeah, that's not
James Gunn is
DCEU.
focused on. Yeah, yeah, that's not what they're really
I
focused on. They're focused on it a little bit, but they have Matt Reeves to go to lean on with that. You know.
yeah, I really unless they can. I mean, they haven't announced anything,
Mm.
so it's and they probably won't announce anything anytime soon. So I think there might actually be in 2024. There might not be any DC movies.
And people are gonna be mad.
Yeah, unless they're willing to like delay Blue Beetle or Aquaman. I think Aquaman is going to stay, but they're
Yeah,
going to have no movies. That's my prediction.
yeah. The
Unless
next
unless the only DC movie that could potentially come out in 2024 is Constantine 2. but that's not DCEU. It's just DC
No.
related.
And what was I gonna say? Oh, also there is for the Penguin show, they're looking to get Salvatore Maroni, casting call for Salvatore Maroni.
Mm. Also, I
Yeah.
forgot about the Joker too, but
Oh,
again, not
Joker, yeah,
DCEU.
but that's not. But that's the same thing, right? It's
Yeah.
not. That's its own universe, obviously. That's not. And you know the Legacy trailer from Ant Man. I have a sense that they're phasing out Ant Man in this multiverse saga.
Um, I mean, if they
Not in this
do,
film.
that would suck.
Not in this film, but like at the end saga.
I think that would be really bad because Ant-Man has been a better supporting character than
Yes,
a
yes.
protagonist in his own movie. So, I mean, the Wasp, I really could care less about that character. She's not even the Wasp from the comics anyway. So, she, like, who cares? Right? I think that's like the one big mess up for a character the MCU they just wasted. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know what they were thinking. But to get rid of Scott Lang would be really stupid. I
Yeah.
also think like they kind of wasted the Ant-Man movies. Like if you were
Hmm.
gonna do Kang and MODOK for the third movie, then why didn't you do Eric O'Grady for the second
I
movie?
I think Modok and Kang are two big villains that should not be in the same film together. I know Kang is overall is going to be the bigger villain, right? He's going to be
I
the
don't even
Thanos.
think Kang is the villain. I think MODOK is really
Yeah.
MODOK and potentially what's his name? What's his name? Fuck, what's his name? The actor, Ghostbusters. What's his name? Bill. What's his name? I'm totally blanking on
Murray?
his last. Bill Murray. Yes. Okay. I think Bill Murray's probably going to be the villain.
Yeah. See, Kang is not. I mean, they're trying to make it out like Kang is the villain of the film, but we know he's not because we know Kang is it's the villain of the whole saga. There's just a variant of Kang. We
Yeah.
know they want to say Modok,
He's
right?
gonna like. I wouldn't even be surprised if he just shows up and then he leaves. I can't really see them doing like he's a variant and then like and then he dies as a variant and then I don't know if they'll do that, but um I don't
Oh,
think he's
George.
in the movie long. Oh, what's up,
No.
George?
Hey guys,
How are you, man, George?
I'm doing okay. Trying to get over a cold, but
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah,
hate colds.
no, I'm
yeah,
trying
it's
to go for
Yeah.
cold
perfect.
season.
Trying to go for perfect attendance at work because I'm the only one that has it right now. So like as long as I'm not puking, I'm going in.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean you're around kids and kids are getting they're getting
Yo,
sick
I
worse this
I feel so bad for this one girl in my class. Like she's like so well behaved, but like her stomach's been bothering her for over a month. She was like in the hospital,
for a
like
month.
for not for a
Oh,
month, but for like over a week
Hmm.
back in October.
Yeah,
Like
oh wow.
she probably got the flu or
it's
RSV.
like some kind of bad case of the flu.
Yeah, yeah. It's what happens. Like unfortunately, when we had to mask up, the other diseases, like the other stuff, especially the respiratory diseases, like the flu, the
Mm.
cold, RSV, especially RSV. RSV doesn't really affect us because we're adults, but
Yeah.
for kids, like they haven't built up the immunity to it, right? And the mask has really helped in that way, and for the body not to develop immunity, but it just downfalls to that eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was gonna go. I was thinking of going into the city tomorrow, but I'm like, I'm just gonna wait until next week where like I'm not as stuffed and congested.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
My
probably
stomach's
better.
fine, but like my throat was bothering me this morning and yesterday.
Oh, did he cut out?
Oh, I'm
yeah, I
sorry.
think so. Okay, okay. But
So
you sound fine though to me.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
but it's like
hopefully you feel better.
yeah, but yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit better though. Thank you.
Okay, so we're talking about Transformers. Well, you saw the trailer, obviously, right? What did you think of it?
For Transformers specifically,
Yeah, because we're gonna get to the other two because
Oh,
I
okay. So
later.
honestly, it looks like what I want to see in a Transformers movie. Like I think the Transformer designs actually looked like Transformer designs. And I didn't grow up on Beast Wars. Like, even though I did watch like the 1980s cartoon, like I kind of grew up on the weird Unicron trilogy. But
Mm,
honestly, like the designs for those Transformers looks pretty good as well. I think it looks like it's gonna be better than Michael Bay's movies, in my opinion.
Oh,
Like it looks like they kind of understand what Transformers is.
I just hope so. I hope so because the movie's been
I
bad.
mean, the guy that directed it directed Creed 2, which in my opinion was a really good sequel. So
Okay. Who
yeah, yeah.
directed the
okay, I didn't even know that.
Oh,
Who
I think
directed the
I
second?
think it
Who?
was. I'm gonna double check to make sure. I know he
It was
directed something that was very good.
Stephen Caple Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's him that's directing it, and he did a very good job with Creed 2.
Hmm.
Mm,
Because I'm a big fan of like the Rocky franchise, and I love both Creed movies. Even though
I
Ryan Coogler
hope.
did the first one. Yeah, no,
mm,
like again, like I think because like this guy I heard is actually a fan of Transformers, so I think he's gonna understand it better
Yeah.
than Michael Bay did.
I.
Like that's what
oh,
I
is that?
want. Somebody that at least understands Transformers because I know I don't really say it on these channels, but I'm a big Transformers fan. And like I like the first Michael Bay film, the third one I didn't love, but I rewatch it, I do enjoy like the second half of that film. And I did like Bumblebee. But it's like the other three that I didn't mention were just hot garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I did like Bumblebee, but I mean, I don't. I think the problem with the Michael Bay movies were the writing, and I think it was kind of poorly edited. Because like recently, I've been kind of liking Michael Bay's movies, so I don't really like hate on him too much as a filmmaker, but I think he is kind of getting a bit stale.
But what with Michael
Um,
No.
Bay, like I like the first Bad Boys. I love The Rock. I like The Island. I do
Yeah.
like the first film a lot. Like that's like the one where you feel like a lot of Steven Spielberg influence was in it.
mm,
And it felt like after that, like Spielberg just let Michael Bay do whatever.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because like if you notice, the first film felt like a film, like it felt like a movie instead of hot garbage.
Well, I think that's also because he became a producer and he had a lot more freedom overall. I think if he just directed it and handed it over, it probably would have been better. Like, because the last night was that was like a mess of a movie.
Oh
Just like the
yeah.
editing and like there was even a problem where it was like it was in between shots, it was changing aspect ratios and it was jarring as fuck. And it was like, how did you edit this movie with different aspect ratios? Like,
Heavy.
was it a reshoot or was it like you were using multiple cameras? Like it was so bizarre watching that movie. And then there was a lot of just
Every movie.
weird changes, like the whole like
Yes.
history with the
They do
Transformers
that in
and
every film though,
Yes.
the history thing. It's like
Yes.
every
They changed
like the
everything to history.
like
but
the
this one
second
that one
film,
was particularly weird.
yeah,
Yeah. Like that whole movie was bad. Everything.
like
Yeah.
here's the thing. When I go out of like I'll be honest, when it came to like the second and fourth film, I did leave the theaters thinking, okay, that wasn't good, but at least like I enjoyed it watching it in theaters. Like I had fun with it, but I'm probably not gonna rewatch it. The fifth film last
Hey
night
Andrew.
was like the first time I like walked out of a Transformers film going,
Oh, Willie.
I didn't have a good time with that. I didn't even enjoy it in a stupid fun sense.
Mm,
Like I did with the second and
Okay.
fourth film. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I didn't
I mean,
enjoy myself because there are movies that are bad, but at least you can enjoy them. They're so bad. This was just like
yeah.
I wasted like two and
yeah,
a half
like Black
hours.
Adam.
Like at least with Age of Extinction, I saw it with my best friend and we just had like a blast with the film. Because we were teenagers in high school and we just wanted to watch
Man,
like a dumb fun movie.
Mm.
It was a pure popcorn movies. I mean, like all like, but like at least some popcorn movies have like some interesting
Yeah.
editing, stuff like that, and
And the thing is, Age
dialogue.
of
This,
Extinction was longer than The Last Night, and I felt like Last Night was the longest of the 5 movies.
Yeah,
oh, because it's that bad.
yeah, it's bad. It's
Yeah.
really bad. I
I
mean, I'm
wonder
just
why.
kind of
Oh yeah,
yeah. I was gonna say I'm just kind of a little bit skeptical of the direction. I mean, Bumblebee was definitely a well directed movie, while the trailer of this one, I wasn't really feeling it. So, like the action felt a little bit too clean and a little bit too safe, in my opinion. Well, Bumblebee was like, oh wow, this is actually. I forget the director's name, but he comes from animation, so it kind of makes sense that some of his shots are a little bit more. I don't know. They
Yeah,
I
feel,
know Travis
Bumblebee
Knight.
was made by the guy that did Kubo, which was a phenomenal
yeah,
anime movie. I love
Yeah,
that film.
Travis Knight. Yeah,
Yeah, Travis Knight.
yeah,
Yeah, I forgot his
yeah.
name, but yeah, he made Kubo, which I love.
yeah. So I was hoping that the director would kind of come from animation, because then it would fit the property and it would kind of make the movie a little bit more appealing. I think animation directors have a better sense of like they storyboard better than live action directors, in my opinion. So we'll see. This is not my most anticipated movie. I mean, I also have the same problem with Indiana Jones trailer. So
I
I
mean,
think that
it's
my issue with Indiana Jones is the title. I do not like the title.
yeah, the title does kind of feel. Doesn't it feel like a video game title?
It's
I mean, I
really
did like
bad.
the
it
Yeah.
trailer,
it,
but like
it
the
does.
title, like I like the trailer, but the title's like,
I mean, they are making an Indiana Jones game. I'm not sure if you know this.
Yeah, they
oh,
are. I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be exclusive to Xbox, but
Oh, it's the Xbox exclusive.
the
This is a
only thing.
segue to Indiana Jones. Let's talk
yeah,
about Indiana Jones now.
The only thing that stinks is like with the Transformers thing is it looks like this is the next franchise that Soups is gonna like drive people insane with.
yes, yes,
It's like
Soup
I
just
saw
hops
like
on the
he hops on whatever
Soup.
franchises like looks appealing.
Yeah, he hops on the train, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
did you
yeah,
guys see his tweets saying that Ironheart should have been Iron Man 3?
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
We were
like
just talking about that.
dude, Ironheart was created after Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Like I don't even
Well,
think
he's
Ironheart
clueless.
comics
Ironheart
men
was
knew
created
that.
when Civil War came out. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's stupid. I mean,
And
I'm
now
like,
it's like he's like posting all these things about this was the best moment of Transformers. It was like I love Transformers before the movies became popular, dude.
I mean,
yeah,
the moment he was talking about it, because I did see the tweet, it was like, I mean, I swear to God, there was another scene like that in every single movie.
I know.
I couldn't tell. I don't even know if that was like the third or the fourth movie. I couldn't even tell.
It was his third movie, I think.
Okay. Because I was like, I think this is like from a more recent one, but
Hmm.
yeah.
The
I
thing,
mean,
the thing, Soups is getting exposed more and more for what he really is.
yeah.
And
Well, just don't say anything. Like, I think his problem is that he just talks a little bit too much, and he's clearly sometimes he doesn't know what he's talking about, and then he just catches himself in a
doubles
problem.
down.
Yeah, he doesn't really double down. It's just that he just doesn't think it through. Like Riri
Like
Williams
everybody.
wasn't even to be honest, she's not even a good like she's not a good character in my opinion. She's way too close to Iron Man, and it's not the same as in like Miles and Peter, right? It just was not organic, and ever since they introduced the character, I never liked them. So him just being like, "Oh, she should have been in Iron Man 3," it's like her being introduced in Iron Man 3 probably would have been worse than if she was introduced in Wakanda
Here's the
Forever.
thing.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about William Williams like they do about Miles Morales in popularity.
Well, yeah, because Miles Morales got to stand on his own, right? Because
Yeah,
the Ultimate Comics, Peters was dead, right?
yeah. So
And they
no,
did that exact same thing with Riri Williams, right? Tony Stark was dead, but the thing is, Miles wasn't trying to resurrect Peter.
Mhm.
He wasn't trying to just be like, oh, I got to be like Peter. I got to find Peter. And no, he had to be his own person because Peter wasn't there, right? Well,
Yeah.
Riri Williams was like obsessed with trying to find Tony and try to bring him back because she didn't know what to do and she needed Tony, right? So it was like it's just a total disconnect. And then
I
the
mean,
character
there's Pepper.
really, yeah, there's Pepper, but like they didn't really like. And then on top of that too, even though he was dead, there was the AI, and so she was talking with him through the AI and stuff. So it was just to me that was them trying to make another Miles Morales, and it's Michael Bendis who created Miles Morales. So like, there's not even a debate about like, oh, they weren't trying to recreate it. It's like it's made by the same creator, right? So like, I don't know. I've never been a fan of that character, and I think that's the new characters that, to be honest, I don't think they should have
Yeah.
introduced in the
You know
MCU.
what it is? They have to take on the mantle of the previous people taking on the mantle. We were able to become the Iron Woman or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I mean the thing is, if you're gonna do a legacy pass, I mean, you could do it with Rhodey, but I'm also starting to think maybe you shouldn't even do it with Rhodey. Maybe
I
you
mean,
should develop Rhodey a little bit more
there's only a
before you
few
do that.
characters. There's only a few characters in comics period where that works. I do think Batman for a little bit would work with that, with Dick Grayson becoming Batman, but not for a
But it
long time.
wasn't
There's only
long.
certain character
Yeah,
comic book
Yeah,
characters where
it
it works.
wasn't that. It wasn't a long run.
Yeah.
and to be honest, I don't.
It does.
Dick Grayson as Batman was good, but I don't think it would work like long term because he's a totally
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
different kind of Batman. He's not even
Because
really the Batman that people like. That's the
because
thing.
he's and the criminals notice that. They notice the difference in that Batman and
Yeah.
the other Batman, Bruce Wayne's Batman. Even Two-Face pointed out, the Joker pointed out like how he was different.
Yeah, I
in the
think
co-
the DCEU, like, I don't think they'll ever do that. I think they would rather recast the character than
Mhm.
make Dick Grayson Batman. It's just like that's another thing. I think the legacy characters they don't work as well unless they've been established for a very long time, like the Flash, right?
It's
Like
been
Green
like that.
Lantern.
It's been like that in the comics most of the time. Legacy characters don't do. When somebody tries to replace the legacy character, most of the time it usually fails.
Yeah, especially Marvel. Marvel is
No,
really
yeah.
bad with legacy characters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just doesn't work.
No. Yeah, so let's go to Indiana Jones. So you saw Indiana Jones 5, I almost said 6. It's the 5th movie, Dial of
Mhm.
Destiny, which I did not like the title. I could tell this. There's de-aging. You can see him de-age. So I think they're going back. I don't know if they're going back in time. It sounds like they might be going back in time. You got
Well, it's not. I don't think they're going back in
No.
time. Like it takes
I-
place during the '60s.
Yeah. So what for Microsoft synopsis, the NSA hired some former Nazis, like ex-Nazis. Like it happened in real life. Let's be honest. Like
Yeah, this is semi-true. Yeah.
yeah. So like Matt Mikkelsen's character is like a former Nazi that they took in,
Mhm.
and that's and now Indy has a goddaughter who is the female, and everybody says Roke she's gonna replace Indy. Doomcock. And that was trending. Oh my god, that was trending.
Yeah, I noticed it last night. I was like, why is he trending?
I think it was because something in the trailer. People are starting to think that it lines up with the leak. So
Look,
I have no
defending-
clue about that. But
Everybody says Doomcock was right. Doomcock was not right. He gets his stuff from 4chan and stuff like that. And he's not a source then. You can't be right if you get information from another party, You can't be it's not I can make something up now and then somebody else say, "Oh, say source. My sources confirm this," but I said, you know me. But yeah, but who cares about them? This trailer. So he says now he believes in magic. Like he says, he never believed in magic. Like he says in the trailer, right now he believes in magic. I'm like, you never really fully believe in magic. You took the fountain of youth. You never believe in magic. the guy with the Templar has been over what, 1,000 years there. I'm pretty sure you believe in magic. You saw a ghost come out of the ark. Yeah, I think you saw aliens. Yeah, I think it's a very
Yeah,
good chance I would believe in
that was
magic.
weird.
Yeah, I think I would believe in magic. But like, so this is he's the goddaughter of Marcus, from the original trilogy. Help the curator of the not the curator, the dean. I guess it's the dean of the university he worked at, right? He taught
Yeah.
at. So yes, he's the goddaughter there of that. Look, I hope it's good. He's 80 years old. If they're here's the thing: if they're going to place Indiana Jones, they're going to reboot the whole thing with a younger character, a younger actor.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I don't think so either. But that's most likely would happen over.
The only way that will happen is when Harrison Ford dies.
Yeah.
That's because he already. I'm not sure if you know the story about him threatening Chris Pratt. That was weird. It was like he threatened Chris Pratt because they were thinking about like recasting, before they went along with this movie. And he told them, he said, he's like, you'll never get to play this character ever, like as long as I'm long. But like, well, it's his character, so
yeah.
That's like the character that he loves.
Yeah, he loves that character. That's his
effort.
That's his favorite acting role ever. Like,
he didn't do the same for Han Solo.
He did not really like Han Solo all that much.
Yeah.
He wanted Han Solo to die in Episode 6.
Yes, he did.
So, it kind of just shows. Yeah, he doesn't. Certain things. He came back for Blade Runner and he liked Blade Runner. So,
Yeah, but Indiana Jones is his baby. It's his greatest treasure. He wants to. Yeah, I agree.
I just think this trailer, like, the reason why, because I said I didn't like the trailer, is because it's mostly just from a filmmaking standpoint. I think it looks too much like a copy of Steven Spielberg.
It does. But
that's my
James
concern.
Mangold, right?
And it's James Mangold, yes. I thought if you were going to bring in a new director, the director would have their own. I was expecting their own style mixed with kind of like a Raiders of the Lost Ark look. Not so much the newer ones like Temple of Doom and etc. Right? But it just looks like a Spielberg movie, and it doesn't really. It looks like a recent bad Spielberg movie, like the whole parade sequence. I'm not sure if you guys were, care that much about the CGI, but like the whole scene looks totally off. Like the lighting looks off, and then you can clearly tell that there's a stunt double riding the horse, and so it was like, whoa, this looks really jarring, right? I know it's a trailer, but I'm just giving my impressions.
The thing is,
and then even the train sequence, there's a lot of stuff in the trailer where you're like, this looks like a bunch of different Spielberg movies that came out recently. Like they're on the bike, and that looks like Tintin, right? And then the train sequence, I'm like, this is starting to look a little bit like Crystal Skull. I'm like, the trailer for me, I was hoping for like something a little bit more new, right? Like, oh, we're in a new setting. This looks like, okay, this is an amalgamation of everything we've already seen before. So that's why I was really disappointed. I was like, this doesn't look new to me, and that's what I was expecting.
Well, yeah, because he was undercover when he got his book signed by Hitler. He had to go retrieve the book because the doctor Snyder stole it from him, and she was at the rally in Berlin, and he had to get it back. And unfortunately, he had to dress up like a Nazi, and he got his book signed by Hitler, and he probably wanted to shoot Hitler right there. Yeah. Oh, but the Nazis are the villains in this film.
Yes. Again, yeah, like we're gonna just doing the villain we already did before.
Because also one of the reasons why the Nazis are how the Americans recruited some of the Nazis because the Nazis also had bit of they were not in a good relationship with Russia because they betrayed Russia, and there was afraid of the two powerhouses, U.S. and Russia, so they recruited the enemy of Russia, some of them, even though it's Nazis, of course, to their side.
But there's like Nazis in this trailer in uniform.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
Which,
think
again,
it's because you're
weird.
going to show flashbacks
Yeah.
because they de-age him, right? Obviously, it's flash.
I will say the de-aging looked really good.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty
It's
sure
still uncanny valley to me.
I'm pretty sure this took. I think the year they said is like 1969 or something like that. And
Yeah.
how is it? Right, 1969.
Yeah.
He has to be like, he has to be like by the 60s.
No, I think it should line up with his actual age. Like it's either he's like 70. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure too much about that, but I don't know. Something about this movie is giving me some red flags, and I mean maybe it'll be good. I mean it's not a story trailer, so I can't judge it for the story. I'm just judging off of. I mean they just cut a bunch of sequences together, and I make my own impression of it.
Yeah,
Right?
the original trilogy did take place in his 30s, and he was probably like in this. Well,
He was in
Indiana
his
Jones were-
40s. He was
Yeah.
In his 40s, yeah.
So if it's 69, that's about 30. Yeah, so he's definitely the 70s.
yeah.
Even though he dropped the fountain of youth, but he's still getting older and older. Maybe he's still immortal. I don't know. Maybe the fountain of youth, you still get old, but you don't die. I don't know.
I mean, it is Indiana Jones. Like it's supposed to be a little bit kind of I don't know, and not I want to say campy, but yeah, it's definitely like you can't take it super serious.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like, even this was a thing Spielberg even admitted. He made the Nazis too much like Saturday morning cartoon villains, like in his films.
Yeah.
Which, like, I mean, like, to be quite honest, like to make them look foolish is actually like a good way to like disrespect them. But he because obviously his Jewish roots, like he wish he handled that subject matter better.
Oh, here's the difference. Yes, he did use the fountain of youth. That's not great. It only healed him, but he died. So like, it's a plot hole there. I don't know. See, I don't fully understand that because Jake Casale is right. Because he was shot, right? Sean Connery is.
No, that was a Kingdom of the Crystal Skull gaff. Like that movie had so many problems.
Yeah. You know what? The fountain of youth stuff is stupid, and it was a stupid thing anyway. Like, but it's meant to be stupid. Indiana Jones is not meant to be stupid. He pulled a guy. He snatched a guy's heart out of his chest in the Temple of Doom. One of the villains. Like, come on.
I mean, like, let's be real here. Like, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Like, here's the thing: the only reason why that movie's not going to get erased from canon is because it made a ton of money.
Yeah.
If it was
I also don't.
I guarantee that film would not be canon.
No, I have to disagree. Based on what George Lucas and Spielberg said, the movie is still very personal to them. So I don't think they would ever, Kathleen Kennedy definitely wouldn't erase that movie at all. I mean,
so
it's
I know
two people that she's worked with for most of her career. There's just no way.
Spielberg and Lucas, look at the resume, especially Spielberg. Like,
yes, so I don't, and that's why I kind of wish Spielberg just made the movie, because then it would have been an Indiana Jones movie without George Lucas, which I think most of us could at least agree that George Lucas, his ideas for Indiana Jones weren't great. That's why we got the Crystal Skull. So I just think like Spielberg was really going down. I don't really think he's made a good movie recently. I haven't seen The Fableman, but I don't know if that's gonna like bring it back.
I heard it. Well, I heard it's gotten like great praise. But here's the thing: you can definitely say he hasn't made a great blockbuster in a while.
I think he hasn't made a good movie in quite a while.
I have yet to see West Side Story, so I can't really say like if that was good or bad.
I think he's just been. The post was.
Yeah,
I
the
did not
post
care
was
for that.
the post was like forgettable.
And
I
then his
didn't.
blockbusters all been not good. Like I don't like Ready Player One at all. I don't like BFG.
Yeah, I
I
didn't see
think,
that.
yeah, to me, I think I don't know. He's still Spielberg. I still think he has like at least a couple of good movies in him as long as he's willing to work. But this should have been his movie, in my opinion. I think James Mangold. I think the only reason why he got it was because they canceled the Star Wars movie. That's really how I see it.
He's not the, that's not the only one that the only director that canceled for Star Wars.
But
Mm,
like you gotta remember, I think he's got a better resume than most of the directors that did get things canceled.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
if you're gonna
sure.
disrespect James Mangold, you better give him something in return. Because like
Yeah.
this, like the man made Ford v Ferrari. He made Logan. Like he made two phenomenal movies
Yeah,
that are
he's
recent.
made good movies. I'm not
He's
going to
made
Well,
deny he hasn't
not
made
he
good
made
movies.
a lot of good movies. Like
But he's
what
made a lot of good movies, but Logan is not a good movie. And
you
that
said
was
Logan is not
I
a good
think
movie?
no,
Logan?
not Logan. Sorry, Wolverine. I meant Wolverine, not
Wolverine.
Logan. Sorry.
Yeah,
The
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Wolverine. I meant Wolverine. Yeah,
Good
Wolverine
thing,
is
good
not a good
thing.
movie. No, no, no.
Oh,
Logan, I like Logan. Yes. So, but
Logan.
Wolverine, no, I don't. I think Wolverine. When I see this trailer, I'm reminded of Wolverine. It feels like he's doing this because it's a higher thing and you know boost his, you know what I mean, like he did for the Ferrari, and then
Yeah.
he does a blockbuster, right? Because Logan was a blockbuster and that was successful, so now he's trying to find something where it's a blockbuster and he can just do it for hire and then move on to the thing he actually wants to make. So uh that's why I'm like I don't know about this movie. And then on top of that too, it also reminds me of The Force Awakens.
Mm.
That the trailer was just like, oh, remember this, without
It's
actually saying
nostalgia.
it.
Yeah, that's the first Awakens trailer
It
was all nostalgia. The first one.
yeah, and so that was another thing that I was just like, man, if you're gonna do a new Indiana Jones, it should be about a new adventure. Like at least the Crystal Skull doesn't go like, hey, remember this, remember. It was just
You know
here.
what?
There's aliens.
You
There's a
know what
Crystal
it is?
Skull, or you got a son. You got this. Like, yeah. What
They're
is it? Sorry.
they're afraid because people are gonna forget. So they want to put a nostalgia factor into the first trailer. You know, that's what they did for Force Awakens. They probably did for this, and that's what they probably that's what they want
But
to
it's
keep it fresh.
Indiana Jones.
I know, but yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
is. That's what they
that's
did for Star Wars. Definitely, that's what they did for Force Awakens. But people don't like hardcore Star Wars fans don't forget. Even the casual Star Wars fans won't forget. Star Wars is a big franchise. They didn't even.
I
They didn't
mean, let's
even.
be real. What are people gonna be more familiar with, Star Wars or Indiana Jones?
Star Wars.
Like that's the thing.
I mean,
And
both were big movies, though.
But Star Wars
Indiana
is a
Jones
bigger
is
fandom,
cool.
right?
yeah,
Like,
Star Wars got bigger
I
fandom.
yeah.
sure, but I still think you shouldn't discount Indiana Jones. Each Indiana Jones movie did quite well. They're
Yes.
quite popular movies. Like, and most people, and on top of that, too, Star Wars may be extremely like did well at the box office, better than Indiana Jones. But a lot of people who watch Star Wars aren't totally in tune with the lore. They only watch the movies.
That's true.
So I definitely don't think, you know, going, oh, but what about Star Wars? I don't think that's really a good excuse for the movie. And it's not a good excuse for Lucasfilm either. Like Lucasfilm, I think needs to step up their game in terms of the movies they're making because they seem. I mean, let me watch Indiana Jones first, but I feel like the Star Wars movies that we've gotten feel derivative, right? Like they don't actually feel like they're willing to do something new outside of, I would say, Rogue One.
Yeah,
Rogue
Rogue
One's
One
like
was
the
one.
only one. Yeah. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna be more cautiously like I was super excited about this movie until I saw the trailer. So now I'm gonna be cautious about this movie because maybe it might be good, but maybe it might just be The Force Awakens. And when I first saw The Force Awakens, I wasn't like enthralled by it. Like it was just okay. So I'm sorry to be like a downer, but like That's just how I feel.
I actually
Yeah.
want to talk to the main event now. Guardians 3, the final James Gunn Marvel movie, because well, he's in DC now running things, and this trailer really is
This
emotional.
actually felt like the MCU before Phase 4, the trailer.
Yeah,
Like
Yes.
the tone of it, like that. See, that's the thing. Like I feel like like this will probably. I wouldn't be surprised if this turns out to be the best film of Phase 5. I'm not gonna
This
lie.
might be the best Marvel movie in a since Infinity War. That's how I feel.
Infinity War was amazing. Yeah,
Like there hasn't like each Marvel movie has been okay. I mean, they've been good, but I mean, and I say I don't care that much for No Way Home, but uh I don't think they've really like my top five hasn't changed in like years for the MCU. It's still like pretty much Guardians 1, 2, Infinity War, and The Winter Soldier. Like it hasn't really changed around that much. So I'm definitely excited for this movie.
I mean, outside of like No Way Home, like my top 10 hasn't really changed since the end of Phase 3.
Hmm.
Like that's basically it. Like No Way Home was at least for me the only one that kind of moved the needle bigly. Like Shang-Chi was the surprise of Phase 4 in my opinion, but other than those
Yeah.
two films, like I mean I like Doctor Strange, like Multiverse of Madness personally a lot, but it's like outside of that, it's like there were no big surprises outside of like Shang-Chi. Like
Yeah,
I think like
everything's
here's the
been
thing.
stale.
No Way Home was expected
no,
to be loved by a lot of people because of returning the classic villains and the classic heroes. Like
Hmm.
it was just a matter of are you going to handle them correctly and are you going to do fan service done right? But like other than that, like there were no big surprises other than maybe Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
everything's
true.
just
That's
been
true. Some,
Wakanda Forever was just kind of in the middle of the road in my opinion. Thor Love and Thunder was terrible. And then, we have the rest of the other Phase 4 movies, Eternals and Black Widow. Like, I don't know.
but
Yeah, but the one thing about this trailer, though, that I did like is, again, if we're going off of what I was just criticizing about Indiana Jones, this movie trailer doesn't have any nostalgia bait or isn't trying to be like, oh, we're hyping up this thing in Phase 5 or blah, 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 right? It's just like, this is a trailer with the characters and they're going on another adventure and it's going to be emotional.
like a
And
final
there's
adventure.
obviously, yeah, the final adventure. And that's it. That's the hook of the movie,
Yeah,
at least for the first trailer, right? And it's like, good. I don't need, them shoving all this like, oh, look at Kang or like, oh my God, they're teasing something else. It's just like, no, it's just very simple. I mean, there's hints of something bigger. But it's like, as far as I've seen, I went on Twitter and no one's really talking about what this movie is actually about, which kind of shows you that James Gunn is pulling like deep from the comic lore. Like he's pulling up, like this movie may just be a homage. That's my theory to Jack Kirby, because there's
yes.
a lot of stuff in this trailer, that's hinting toward Jack Kirby and some storylines. So I mean,
I
we
think James
we can
Gunn
get
is
into
done
that.
with his stuff with DC and Marvel. He does a lot of Easter eggs that he actually means something. The Marvel stuff,
Yes.
like some of the stuff that they put in the movies and TV shows now, really don't. Like, even the Easter eggs, they really don't get to anything.
No, they're not using the source material
Yeah, yeah,
in a way to make create doing something more creative, right? Oh, we're not just going to adapt it. We're going to like we'll reach in and grab this thing and then
hmm
play with it. Which I mean, in the trailer, right? We see Drax. He throws that ball at the little girl and
that's
stuff.
hilarious.
Yeah, which is funny. But that whole planet, no one is talking about that. That's Counter Earth, right? Counter Earth
Yeah,
is what the High Evolutionary and Adam Warlock they kind of oversee it, where it's like these animal people, right?
yeah.
And on this planet, there's a team, the
That's
New Men.
that's where Raccoon is from.
Yes, well, Rocket Raccoon is actually from Half World. So I think they might be merging it, Half
Yeah,
World and Counter Earth, because they are very similar. But Half World is more,
it's
um,
MCU. That's why.
Yeah, I mean we'll see what they do, but that's definitely that Earth that they're on with the people with animal looking features and stuff. That has to be Counter World. Like there's no question
That's
in
funny.
my mind, right? Because that's the whole idea of Counter World.
I,
It's or Counter Earth. It's
I, sh-
literally Earth, but just with animal people on it.
I should have done a stream for these trailers, not for Transformers because I know I get hit, but for at least the other two Disney trailers, I could have done a stream for because I know Disney does a strike. So,
Yeah,
yeah, you saw Adam Warlock, Will Poulter. Like, I don't think he looked that
yes,
bad, but I think I'm with longer hair.
yeah. He probably would have looked better with longer hair, but I like the casting. Will Pilter or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's
He's
him. Yeah,
he's a pretty good actor, so I think he'll do a good job. But
just act like him. Just act like I'm more like a cocky son of a bitch.
I don't
And
think he's gonna be like Adam Warlock though, even
oh
from the game. Yeah, that's what I heard is he doesn't really act like him too. He kind of like you know how Adam Warlock is a little bit like sometimes arrogant, like he knows a little
yeah,
bit too. He might act a little bit like that, but from what I understand is he's kind of like a man baby who's maybe thinks he's smarter than he is. No,
but
just based on some description things.
you could get away with him being an asshole and arrogant instead of being a man
Yeah.
baby. Because he kind of played that character. He kind of played some because he played he was in the third Narnia movie and he kind of played the man baby there.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Mm,
film.
He was the
I don't
cousin,
even
right?
Oh yeah,
I
he
didn't
was
even
the
see
like
that.
snotty cousin. It's been
Yeah.
ages since I seen
Mm,
that film, but I remember he was the cousin in that.
The Narnia stuff. I mean, the first movie was good.
Yeah, the first movie was good, but after that, it was like each film got worse and more forgettable. Like the first film stood out.
Yeah, yeah. The, you see, the thing is, what she said is gonna be a man made thinks he knows best. People are gonna be upset about that because it could be like, oh, he's cracking up jokes. Adam Warlock's gonna make jokes and stuff.
well, I mean,
See,
it's James Gunn though, and it's the
here's
Guardians.
Yeah,
the thing: if you know,
yeah,
like, it's not a big deal as long as you do it right and you have the characters that should be doing it.
yeah. And Adam Warlock is not a character that's a joke.
Like here's the thing: James Gunn, I think, like his style of humor in the MCU holds up the best out of any other style of humor.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. James Gunn and Taika Waititi both use humor a lot in their movies, but James Gunn does it better differently because he does it within the context of the story just to make sense. You know, he
Yeah,
does a better
And here's
job.
the thing: the execution, I think,
Yeah,
works out better.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Like
Peacemaker is
you
proof.
got to execute it well. Like that's what worked in both Guardians films, The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. The
Mm-hmm.
execution always worked out.
Because even when they got the serious, like with Love and Thor, Love and Thunder, when they got to the serious stuff, all of a sudden when they're talking serious stuff, is serious. A second there, there's a joke that comes out of it.
This is my problem with Thor: Love and Thunder. The jokes don't make sense for the
No,
characters. That's the problem with that movie. It's like it's just you're just throwing in a joke just to have a joke, and it doesn't
yeah,
make sense. It doesn't actually elevate the character. It doesn't elevate the story in any way. So it's like just cut that joke out, or like make find a joke that works better for the character. Like why is Thor like having this weird obsessive back and forth with Mjolnir and his axe? Like it's just a weird joke that has no place of existing. Like why does he care? Like he's had a romantic relationship with Mjolnir. Like what? Like that was never established. Like it's just weird and random, right? It's like oh, imagine if he was like the hammer was like his ex lover. It's like what?
oh,
It's just stupid. It just doesn't make any sense.
you
It's like
should
you
see
should have maybe established that beforehand.
you should see the comparisons of MCU Doctor Strange to Midnight Suns Doctor Strange. MCU's Doctor Strange, while he can be very compassionate, he can be an asshole. The Midnight Suns
The
Doctor Strange,
Midnight Suns is way better.
he's nicer. He's not an asshole. He's friendlier.
He has a he's probably the most interesting part of that game, by the way.
Is he like that in the comics? He's not an asshole in the comics.
No, I mean Doctor Strange. I mean, yeah, the MCU Doctor Strange always came off like counterfeit Tony Stark,
Hmm.
and that seems like a lot of the characters now. They're just like, oh, we're gonna make them like dicks on purpose, and it's
Yeah, yeah.
like again,
Because he's a yeah. We'll make this billionaire as a dick. Make this doctor as a dick. Like Yeah, I'll tell you, the Midnight Suns, Doctor Strange is like it's totally different kind of character.
Yeah.
Totally different. Totally different. He's such very friendly, very approachable. He doesn't tell you, "Oh, fix this shit up. Do this. Do this." You know, he's
Sonny, the Guardians are a way better team than the Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll
I'm-
tell you one thing. If the Hunter character was an MCU, the Avengers would never be a problem. Would never be a problem.
Hmm.
I can tell you that. Depends. Because it depends which road you go down. Because you could actually go down a light path or a dark path in Midnight Suns.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm going down the light path. I'm gonna kill my mother.
I just want to know if there's any other secret characters in the game. I was really hoping Moon Knight would be in the game.
Who?
Moon Knight, of course.
Wait, Andrew, how is saying the Guardians are a better team than the Avengers a hot take? Let's be real here. They work better together as a team. They actually care about one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have a better
let's-
dynamic. There's
let's-
better tension too.
We could shit on DC, but Batman even checks up on his people. He was saved Superman's mother's house. He delivers stuff to Diane. He checks up on his allies, and this is Batman,
Yeah.
the most private guy in DC.
I mean, let's be real here. Like
Justice League. I mean, Justice League only had one movie, and but these seem to work better together.
Here's the thing. The
They seem like
Justice
more of a
League
family.
in one movie worked better together than the Avengers did in like several movies.
They work. They work. They work like a family, like the Justice League. That's the thing. I think the Justice League do. I think even the comics and everything. I think the Justice League do feel like a family more than Avengers.
Well, they have a better. I mean, the Avengers in the movie, at least, like the six of them, they weren't that bad. I just think that it kind of watered down to like once they got past their differences, like in the first movie, then they kind of were like they were just buddies, but we never really got to see much of that. Like
No.
after Age of Ultron, it just sort of like they fizzled out.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with the new Avengers is like who's on the new Avengers, because if it's a shit lineup and
They're gonna get
so
their asses
someone
kicked by
They
Kang.
can tweet on Twitter.
well someone on Twitter had this fake lineup, right? That it was like Captain Marvel, Captain America, Falcon,
Yeah.
who else?
She-Hulk.
Wonder Man,
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, Shang-Chi, and
Monica Rambeau,
Photon.
Blue Marvel.
Yeah.
Photon, Blue Marvel, right?
Really, really, really bad lineup. They have, I think that might be the most boring lineup in Marvel history, including the comics. Like, there's no chemistry whatsoever with all those characters. They're all one note supporting characters. So it's like
That's even Captain Marvel too, because like
Captain
Captain
Marvel should not. I really recently, like I've been seeing this on all over Twitter, and I'm like, you people really just like I just don't understand, right? Like Captain Marvel, when she first became Captain Marvel, right, which was fairly recently, only like 10 years ago,
Yeah, a decade
right?
ago.
The first run wasn't that bad, and then she slowly progressed into the character that we now know, and it's terrible. It's one of the worst things Marvel has done. It's just
Midnight
made
Suns
her a
Captain
dick.
Marvel. That one's
She's
awesome.
Yeah, when she's just an absolute obnoxious dick for no reason. Like, and because there was this image that someone was joking about how like, oh, when she went to go arrest Miles Morales in Civil War II, like this is
Civil War
where
is bad.
you're right.
Sure.
Civil War II is terrible. One of the
Yeah.
worst recent Marvel comics
Yeah.
of just like
Oh,
nonsensical shit, and
That-
that's
that-
also another reason.
that
I hate
really
Captain
hurt.
Marvel.
That really hurt Captain Marvel's rep.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. I have no clue what Captain Marvel is like Superman. I don't know why it's so fucking hard to like emulate Superman's personality. It's like you got the movies with Superman, they can't do it. Like they just
It's
want
like-
edgy dick. Why?
Like, what's wrong with having a Boy Scout or Girl Scout superhero? I really don't get.
I don't understand.
It's like, here's the thing. It's like, you don't have to make them a Mary Sue or Gary Sue, but make them like a positive influence. Like that's what we're
Yeah.
asking for. Like,
I just don't get it.
I hope she develops that personality, like the personality we were used to, in the next movie. As
I hope. I like they
listen.
really need
If
to
they,
stop with this Tony Stark personality trait for everybody. It makes no
it,
sense.
here's the thing, it works for Tony Stark. It doesn't work for every
can you
character.
can you imagine if they did it in the DC and everybody had a personality like Batman?
Yeah, like that would be dumb. It
Yeah,
makes no sense. It's like, and that's the thing that I don't understand, right? It's like you want like you can't write a better character, so you just make them sarcastic because it's easier, and you're like, well, we'll get jokes out of it. But it's like
That's
you
what
can have
works
a
so
yeah,
far
go.
with some of
Sorry.
these. That's what works with these DCU characters. It's like it feels like Aquaman's his own character, Wonder Woman's her own character, Shazam's his own character. Like,
maybe
like
I I
you watch
personally
these DC movies, it's like these characters they know who they are.
I know I personally think maybe some of the Marvel people they get don't read the comics and don't know what the
They
person.
even said they
Well,
don't
they
want
said,
comic book writers.
Yeah,
but the thing is, if you were sitting there and you're like, hey, we're gonna make them sarcastic, nobody steps in and goes, hey, that sounds like a character we already have.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's not. It's just annoying when all these characters are acting sarcastic, and it's like, holy hell! Like you can make a joke without being sarcastic. You know what I mean? Maybe. I mean, you don't have to be dumb, right? Where and then oh, we're gonna make fun of them because they're dumb. But it's like there's other ways. Like there's first off, nobody in the MCU makes dark jokes, right? Like there's different type of humor, and they never use it. It's just really frustrating, really super frustrating.
The closest to doing dark humor is Drax, but again, that's a James Gunn like Marvel character.
That's a
So it's
Jane.
like,
Yeah,
oh, but that's you call that dark humor? Look at Suicide Squad stuff with Peacemaker. That's dark humor.
yeah,
Because he has limits, right? From and now with Bob Iger and stuff, there some of the stuff that the MCU was willing to go. They're willing to go a little farther with Chapek in charge, like the more rated R, the more darker stuff. Now with Bob Iger back in charge, there's something there that he may not allow. He may not allow that. Like this, they is was Deadpool go rated R. That's the thing. Deadpool has to go rated R, but we allow.
he was the one who said Deadpool was going R, so I don't think that's gonna be a
he was.
problem.
Okay. But
Yeah, no, yeah,
this
he was.
idea Daredevils could be go mature is bullshit. I don't believe that for a second.
I think that one is more likely. I
I
think
think
what
it's
they're
go
gonna
14,
do is
14 at best.
well, if it's 14, then that's still better than well, I think Moon Knight was 14.
Yeah, I
So
think it's go down Moon Knight like that.
I mean, we'll see. I think uh,
I,
because it is Charlie Cox, I'm more under the belief that they will make it
I'm
mature rated.
here's why I don't know if it's gonna go mature. Like it's gonna have an immature or 18 rated R because I know for a fact kids under 13 watch these Disney Plus shows.
Yeah,
Look,
but
I've had
the
kids
Disney
at work that watch Deadpool, so it's like parents don't really care.
I know parents don't really care,
but
but
the Daredevil show is on Disney Plus. And
yeah,
and it's not just for us; it's for in the United States, which I think is a sign. If it wasn't, if the new Daredevil show was going to be PG-13, they would have never added that show to Disney Plus. They would have just put it on Hulu, so most people don't associate with the Disney brand. But the Defenders, all of the shows are on there,
but
so it's like
Netflix you
there's
could
no
go with
excuse.
it, yeah. Netflix you could go with, but like it's just that if Deadpool does connect to the MCU does get a lot of young fans, like their movies and stuff, and the Deadpool may it may be I don't know the box office could suffer for that movie. I think it might probably would do well, but I
Well,
don't
I
know.
think it's gonna. I think that's probably gonna be.
That's that's what the graphics told me that you got to be careful with Bob Iger when he thinks because he's more family friendly.
Yeah, but I think Deadpool. That there's no Deadpool is already in full motion. There's no way they're
Mhm.
gonna tamper with that movie.
Yeah. Well, Bob Iger, because Deadpool, like they said even before Shapek took over that when Deadpool was going to be in the MCU, it was going to be rated R.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
but yeah,
the
yeah. I
well,
don't
question.
see why they would
Here's
go
the
back
real
on that.
question. Here's the real question. What are they going to do with Blade? That's going to be the real question. That's the
Really?
big
I think
They
question.
Blade
had
will
the
be PG
director.
13.
They're gonna film that next year.
Well, I know it's going to be PG-13, but is it good? Is it going to be like on the border PG-13 rated R? Like it looked like it was like it could have been, or is it just going to be pure PG-13?
I think it's just going to be pure PG 13.
Here's the thing: if you could make Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness PG-13, you can make Blade PG-13. Okay. There's ways to work around it.
I mean, you can
I think,
still
yeah.
make a good Blade movie that's PG-13, but again, like I feel like you're also like you're not giving yourself more freedom by doing that.
Yeah.
It's
I,
all
I agree with I agree with I agree with what you're saying. I just think that Marvel, like, let's be real, Marvel is kind of stupid when it comes to this stuff. Like, if there's a creative risk where it's like that should actually pay off and that would make sense to take that risk, they'll probably be like, no, we're not going to do it. It's like Blade being rated R would make sense because again, Blade doesn't have a lot of source material. Okay,
no,
most people
Yeah.
associate Blade with
with
the
the movies
movie. So yeah, it would
or the
make more
animation
sense if it
or,
was
or
rated
Spider-Man
R.
animated series. So, like other movies are
Yeah,
that. If you go further
yeah.
back,
Blade doesn't even currently have a ongoing comic. That should tell you something. The character now that's getting a movie doesn't even have a series for the comics. That's a red flag in my opinion, and I think that's why they were having troubles trying to write the script because it's like, well, what do you do? Right? He fights Dracula, and then what? Who's the next villain? You know what I mean? Like they're gonna get stuck.
Morbius.
Well, they can't do Morbius.
Morbius.
Yeah, you can't do Morbius.
Morbius would make
They
sense,
can
but
do
yeah, you
Morbius.
Yeah,
can't do
more.
it.
Here's the thing.
They
Here's
can
the
strike a
thing.
deal. Why not? They can do it. They do it for Spider-Man. They
There,
can strike a
there are
deal.
a lot. There are some problems,
won't.
and it's not even like entirely Marvel's fault. There's like certain things where like because of the Sony deal, that like certain ideas that could work won't work. Like not just Morbius versus Blade. Like look at the Thunderbolts movie. You know who would be a perfect candidate for that Thunderbolts movie? Michael Keaton's Vulture. But because of the Sony thing, he's now in the Sonyverse. So like the one villain that actually could fit into that Thunderbolts team, you can't even put in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that Thunderbolts team, I keep saying, I said
Yeah.
it should have been Dark Avengers. It should have been, Iron Patriot and fucking what's some other characters. You could have put Bullseye as Hawkeye, right?
But because Dark Patriot was Norman Osborn, am I
Iron,
remembering?
yeah,
Yeah. So like
yes.
again,
In the
that's
MCU, they
it's
kind of
Sony.
changed it.
Sony again. That's also part of the Sony problem. You can't even use Norman Osborn, or at least or use him the way you want to if you ever do put a Norman Osborn in the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, even if you didn't, like the easy way out is just put Justin Hammer, right? You have a good actor
Yeah.
who could probably lead a movie, and
And
he
his
could be
character's still
super
alive.
villainy.
I mean,
Justin
if
Hammer.
you
Yeah.
can bring back Abomination, you can bring back Justin Hammer.
That's the problem with the Thunderbolts is the lineup is like they're almost identical. They're almost the same. There's
Yeah.
no variety. It's like you needed
Abomination could have been a good
Abomination.
Abomination, Vulture, like these are like villains that would have been a good fit.
The Thunderbolts team is more than half that team are not even villains.
They're like gray heroes.
Yeah.
Some of them, like
Like
they're gray heroes.
Bucky is not really a villain. He was basically
But
under my
Bucky,
control. He
here's
wasn't
what
really a
I think.
villain.
They're gonna make Bucky play the same role as Rick Flag. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna make him the Rick Flag of the team.
The Thunderbolts, I swear to God, if the Thunderbolts is the story is them going up against Sentry, and it's pretty much the Suicide Squad where Val is Amanda Waller.
Oh my, yeah, no.
I hope people
I'm
rip
worried.
it to shit.
I'm getting worried that's looking. Here's the thing.
Look at the deep power Sentry so much.
Marvel may have beaten DC when it came to establishing a universe, but DC beat Marvel to certain things.
Yes.
And it's like,
and the Suicide Squad is one of them.
Yeah, and like here's the thing. The Amanda Waller character, like Viola Davis plays that character brilliantly. Even in the bad Suicide Squad movie, she was great in that role. It's like I'm getting vibes with Val that like they're trying to make this character they're Amanda Waller.
No, Amanda
Yes.
Waller's dangerous.
That's
Like,
the vibes that I'm getting. That like
Yeah.
they're trying that they want their own Amanda Waller.
yeah, Amanda Waller is like she's threatening. When I saw Black Panther, I'm like, oh, they really made Val like they tried to do it in the first two thing appearances.
They're going to make. I'm telling you right now, Val is going to be Amanda Waller, the MCU version of Amanda Waller. It's gonna be terrible. I'm telling you that Thunderbolts movie. You're gonna hear right here from me. That movie's gonna be bad. It's gonna be generic, bad MCU
You know,
movie.
you know the difference with Suicide Squad in Thunderbolt? Suicide Squad, everybody on that team besides Rick Flag, because it was his government, was a villain. The Thunderbolts, more than half of that team were not villains.
Yeah.
Right? Like Bucky wasn't really a villain. He was under mind control. Lena, I guess she's an assassin, but she's a good guy.
Well,
Ghost, I guess.
they're bad villains like Ghost
Yeah.
Ghost was one of
on the
worst
team.
villains.
She wasn't really the villain of that whole movie. It was really that Walker Goggins character.
It's just
I-
bizarre. It's
I
so
honestly
bizarre.
feel like Ghost is in there just so we could get a question as to what happened with Ghost after Ant-Man and the Wasp and during the events of Infinity War. I
That
feel
would
like
be-
that's the only reason why
But
that
no
character-
one even wanted that. That's the funny part. It's like who asked for that? No one. Like I remember when Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, like people were like, "Oh, like she's a relatable villain or whatever."
No.
But it was like she doesn't do anything in the movie that makes her a villain. Like she goes after the heroes and that's it. Like her motivation doesn't make a lot of sense. And then
she's not even Ghost, man. Ghost from the comics is a totally different character.
it's
Ghost isn't Ghost an Iron Man villain?
yes.
See,
See, that's
Some-
that's a problem that I'm noticing as well. Some movies are just taking from other
Taskmaster,
galleries.
man. Taskmaster, they ruined the idea using Tony Masters. You know what they could have done?
my
They can still use Tony Masters in Black Widow as a disgruntled Shield or former Shield employee or something like that. They can still use him in some way.
Mm.
I mean, can they do a thing where it's like I'm the real Taskmaster, like how the
Yeah.
real Mandarin
No.
was in Shang-Chi? It's like
I
Yeah.
don't even Taskmaster being on the team too is just weird.
yeah,
No.
it's literally a Black Widow too, in my opinion. You got the Red Guardian in there, you got Taskmaster, you got Yelena. It's like you might as well just call us Black Widow 2, Thunderbolts.
Ugh.
Like you might as well just call it that.
Man, the moment they announced that lineup, I was like, this movie's gonna be dog shit. This is gonna be dog shit. Oh my god. What were they thinking?
I mean,
What were they
well,
thinking?
if they play Bohemian Rhapsody in the trailer, you know what's gonna happen.
Oh,
Oh,
no. Oh. Look, it says that Squad, like the movie was bad, right? With obviously
Yeah.
the one 2016. But some characters are pretty interesting. Deathshot was good.
Yeah,
Harley Quinn was
at
good.
least you can say that there were some interesting characters in that lineup.
Yeah. And the dynamic was good. I want to see how these characters interact with each other. I really don't think Thunderbolts was I don't think Thunderbolts was really needed for the MCU.
Honestly,
No, unless
I
it was
feel
Dark
like
Adventures.
Yeah.
it's a project that's in there just so we can like give certain characters projects.
You want to know something? You want to know something? Because Marvel actually copied DC more than DC copied Marvel.
Wasn't the only thing DC copied from Marvel was like Aquaman? They copied from Namor.
Yeah.
that was like
DC
the
was
only-
first. Yes. It's not
But
true,
DC
Blind.
got the movie out first.
Well,
Yeah,
there's always Marvel and DC have always been copying each other.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Thanos
Right.
is basically a copy of Darkseid.
Yeah, Deadpool's a copy of Deathstroke. I mean, like you can go down the list, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a debate about who created what X-Men or Doom Patrol because they came out around the exact same time, like literally a month apart. So it's like, there's some rumors about if the X-Men were copies of Doom Patrol. and was rushed out.
I see your point. They're both billionaires. They're both in technology, but they're definitely not the same character. I mean, they're both billionaires, but Batman's just playing the act of a billionaire. Bruce Wayne is the guy under the cowl.
Batman and Iron Man are not the same.
There's some similarities, but their personality-wise, like Iron Man, Tony Stark is his personality is whether he's Iron Man or Tony Stark's the same. Batman, that billionaire personality is when he's out in public being. And you want to know something? When he's out in public and his Bruce Wayne persona, that's mostly undercover work.
Yeah, but I mean, like in terms of like when we mean like they're copycats, we mean like the creators have admitted this.
I'm gonna end it soon, Arkham, because I have to eat dinner, man. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce actually as well because like
I'm gonna end it in a couple minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm gonna like watch a holiday movie with my mom soon.
I'll tell you, Batman would not be able to stand Iron Man. I don't think Bruce would be able to stand Iron Man. I think all the Avengers, Bruce who we respect the most is probably Captain America.
Probably, yeah.
Because he sees Superman and Captain America. He sees similar traits.
Yeah, definitely.
But a lot of people, I don't know which Avenger would respect Batman. Honestly, like.
Mm-hmm.
But Bruce does. I know in the crossover, Batman does respect Spider-Man in the crossovers, in the comics, when they ran into each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good trailers. So I want to do before we end Super Bowl prediction trailers. So I said earlier before you guys came on, I said I don't expect anything major from Marvel. Maybe a Guardians second trailer, maybe a Disney Plus show trailer, maybe Secret Invasion or the second show. We don't know when Secret Invasion is coming out. They haven't officially give us a date.
Aaron, you want to eat anything?
Okay.
Yeah, date? I think we'll get a Secret Invasion trailer.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll probably get another, maybe just a TV spot for Guardians.
Mm-hmm. And maybe a Star Wars show.
Oh, we're definitely going to get one for the Flash.
Okay, yes, I was going to DC
next. For the Flash.
So for DC, I was going to say we're not going to get Shazam. Maybe a TV spot for Shazam because Shazam comes out a month after. I think Aquaman's going to be safe for Comic-Con. Blue Beetle, I'm not sure. That might be safe for Comic-Con also. But I think Flash is 100%.
Well, there's no way they're going to save Blue Beetle trailer to Comic-Con. It comes out in August.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it has to come out earlier, but I don't think it'll be at the Super Bowl. They'll have to promote Flash first, and we'll probably see like a Blue Beetle trailer like May. I could see May or April.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they usually do. Like 3-4 months out now, a trailer will drop. So that's usually the rule of thumb.
What do you think, George?
Unless it's
Then we're gonna end it.
Probably like Guardians and like Secret Invasion. Yeah, I was gonna say I got to bounce right now actually.
Okay, so yeah,
right,
thank
peace,
you guys
George.
for coming on. Yeah, thank you guys for coming on, George. If you want to put your channel in the chat, go ahead.
Yeah, so you can find me at the George, and I'm gonna be starting basketball reviews soon. So on basketball movies, I just rewatched Hoosiers, so I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow if I'm feeling up to it. But yeah, you can just find me at the George.
Glenn, go ahead.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Blinded Braille.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you, George. Yeah. So check out George's channel.
Yeah.
So
see you,
like,
George.
share, subscribe, comment below, and take care, everybody. AWL.
Peace.